Yes.
So, are you
And
excited to start the event today?
uh,
Are you so excited to start?
yes, I am excited and a little bit of intrepidation. Yes. Mm.
So, yes, so before you start the session, I will give you a brief introduction of you, Robbie. So,
Mm.
then later you can take the place, okay? So, Robbie G,
Oh,
she is the second speaker. So, this Miss Robbie G is dedicated for decades to empowering women to realize their full creative potential. Her background includes New Zealand registered nurse expertise in psychosocial work with refugees, 15 years as Norwegian refugee consultant, and a year as a nurse and leader in refugee camp. Robbie Granberg is trained as a spiritual director, New Zealand, and her certifications in business and transformative life coaching from Mind Valley. Robbie's current role includes combined life coaching and family therapy with art therapy, spiritual guidance, and rapid transformational techniques. Robbie's ultimate goal is to empower women to reclaim their authentic self-worth and break free from limitations, allowing them to live fully and embrace their rightful place in this transformative era. So this was a beautiful introduction of Robbie G. So yes, Robbie G, you can take over the stage.
right now? Okay, then I shall do that. So, everybody, greetings from New Zealand, the land of the long white cloud. It's sometimes called something like the Shaky Isles, due to the fact that there's enormous amount of geothermal activity, geysers, and different eruptions and frequent earthquakes. A shaky foundation, you might call it. But the thing is that occasionally pressure does build up under the Earth's surface. And I don't know if you are one of those people that experience and know what it is to have pressure build up when everything in your world is going wrong, dead wrong. Maybe, for example, it's all gone to custard, but maybe you're also preparing to go from where you are to where you want to be. And you're standing down in the valley looking up to Mount Possible, and you are seeing all the different diversions um, crossing your mountain, and suddenly you experience a little earthquake, a little emotional earthquake within you as you look up, and Mount Possible becomes Mount Improbable suddenly. So when a long time ago, yes, back in the olden days, I had some diversions as well. I left what was my medical background and was going into the foreignness and the unknown of social work. And after a certain length of time, I found that this suddenly I was getting little earthquake tremors going on within me as well. And I was thinking, what am I doing here? I don't belong. This is not really, is a bit beyond me. I don't measure up. All those around me are such amazing people. So I don't know why I'm here. And then it came. I thought, I am a fake up in all this. And I became another person in a way. I lost my voice. I became emotionally frightened. I was not only frightened, but I was insecure. I just didn't know who I was. And the worst thing was that I sort of looked at these these new colleagues I had with a sense of awe. Maybe it was because they had different worldviews, focuses. Maybe it was because they had another work culture to what I was used to. But in any case, the point of the whole matter is that they could not make me stand in awe of them unless I allowed it. And that is the thing. That's exactly what I did. And I was making up anxieties and fears in my brain. And as long as I carried that limited mindset, I held on to it. It was my familiar because it had become my familiar. I was unable to get rid of it, or that's what I thought. I heard another story about a little old lady that held on as I was holding on to that different part of my mind. And this little old lady, she was hospitalized, and they had to do some medical intervention. She had to be washed from top to toe. But there was one part of this little old lady that she wouldn't let the nurses come near, and that was that little clenched hand of hers. And inside that hand, as they prized open her fingers, lay a little coin, a coin that was of no longer used in any way. It was of no value. But the thing was, she wouldn't let anyone come near that little hand of hers, because it was as though her whole life rested or depended on that little coin. And so this was something that really was of no value to her. But the thing was, she thought it was. And similarly with us, as she couldn't let go that little coin, as I couldn't let go that way of thinking, we all find that we have things in our lives that we can't let go of, or at least we think we can't let go of them. Our interpretation has been shaped by these different beliefs that we get in our head, from our backgrounds, from our circumstances, from perhaps our families, but the people that are around us. But we weren't born like that. You can just see little kids. They think they're incredible. And they are, of course. But they will say, "Mama, Mama, look at me. Look at me, see what I'm doing. Watch me." There's no therapy needed there. But as they grow up and they get older and become adults, they begin to adapt or take on that which they meet out in society. And that can have an incredible influence on the way they think and the way they act and the way the different things that they take into their brains. Women tell me, grown women tell me, that they can't change, that is their personality. They've always been like that. That's who they are. So if I had remained thinking that I am a fake, I don't measure up, I certainly wouldn't be standing in front of you right now. Our fears have been described as the imagined unknown. Imagined because we are capable of making things up in our brains, and we imagine the unknown. But how can we? We don't know the unknown. We have no idea. We also tend to find evidence to support and confirm those beliefs that we've taken hold of. If anyone comes with another different forms of opinions, we rather reject them, or we just don't want to really. We're not able to include them. We are not able to question them. We don't seem able to challenge these things because they've become our familiar. We just hold on to them. And that is all of us. That's you, that's me, and that's the man down the street. But all the same, there's nothing like watching women that I've been privileged to have in my company as they relinquish the old, as they take on new ideas and thoughts, as they become awakened to their best, as they begin to live from the inside out rather than be influenced by the outside in. Bruce Barton has a wonderful little quote, and I will do my best to repeat it. He says, "Nothing splendid has ever been possible except when people dare to believe that something inside of them is superior to their outside circumstances." So if you think that you're not bright enough, you're too shy, you're too old, you're too young, or you're basically you are not well known by anybody, then you will have a struggle to get hold of that splendid that Bruce Barton is talking about. But the thing is that you don't understand one thing. You are actually a masterpiece. You are a piece of great art. You're a God creation. And within you, like everyone else, you have a divine spark of wisdom that's well and alive in you, and it's kicking in there, and it's just awaiting you to pay attention to it, for it to burst into flames. You know, you often can hear little kids coming out with something incredible, and you think, how did they get hold of that? Or you can hear yourself suddenly say something really profound. And this, you think, what? Who said that? Where did I get that from? In the last decade, we've become more and more aware of the fact that the key to true successful transformation lies in the creation of new neural combinations, new neural pathways, etc. And these neurons, they are reinforced through several things. And one of them is that we speak out words to ourselves, about ourselves. For example, I am good enough. I do measure up. I'm valuable, for example. Also, perhaps going into deep reflection, using things like journaling, meditation, prayer, for example, establishing new and behaviors, having new events, exciting new way of living, maybe going out in nature, and finally finding one's real purpose. No one, though, puts on a beautifully new garment. No one puts it over a dirty old overcoat. That overcoat is a metaphor for one that is receiving distorted lies into their minds. That dirty old overcoat has to go, and totally. And then a true view of who you are can be opened up to you. It can be incorporated, it can be embodied, integrated into you. And that true you can be, for example, I am valuable. I am lovable. I am enough. So I have a desire. Yes, I have a desire to inspire all of you to begin to see beyond your familiar, the obvious, the mundane. Well, you see, you have exciting new mountains out there in the big wide world calling you. So don't hide your value behind something like, oh, out there's nothing open from the likes of me, or low self-esteem, or several things like that. Don't estrange yourselves from who you are or your vision for life. Go where you'll make a difference, where you will thrive in roles that you feel well in. Be ready to move up Mount Impossible or improbable and come to Mount Surmountable. For that diverging path up that mountain will lead you to have a new perspective, a transformation and a perspective of a higher you. One beyond the selfish, beyond immediate gratification and entitlement. You'll discover new thinking. And it's so needed in this world today where you must admit there's a huge identity crisis. There has probably never been so much unhappiness in our world today as we have. in our world as we have today. Unhappiness, loneliness, isolation, and several other things that one could name. And even scripture tells us that the whole of creation is groaning. It's groaning and laboring in birth pains. It's groaning because of destructive bondage, of greed, of anger, of violence, of war, etc., etc. And when the corporate world starts focusing pursuit for wealth and pleasure, it becomes self-seeking, stress, pressure, anxiety, and the inauthentic become the norm. The world is crying out for you to make a difference. The difference in unity. And you see, no matter how independent you are, you will always need someone alongside who will support you, who will encourage, who is creative and innovative. For I can tell you one thing, it blows very hard up on the top of that mountain. And it's very cold up there, all alone. Also, it doesn't matter how much you know, you are going to need not only new thinking, but higher thinking. I mean, AI is the go-to these days, and Mr. Google can have the answers, but they only do this from what is already known in the world today. They do not produce the fresh, the new, the dynamic, that which is alive and previously unknown, the powerful. We are in need of a higher power to see beyond the familiar. Some will call on the universe for solutionary wisdom for the world's problems of today. Others will go to God in prayer for radically different plans, his great and mighty plans that have not been seen or heard before. Your rightful place is that you don't have to be the most trendy, the sharpest knife in the school, in the drawer. You don't have to be the most popular, the most creative. You must confidently be able to walk out who you truly are. Upskill and visualize your rightful place and grow in authenticity and integrity. Restoring dignity, significance, value, and a sense of purpose for the majority. Just a little extra bit. You, I am sorry to say, will not stand out if you're trying to be someone else. If you are wearing masks, if you are disguising who you are, you're copying others, you will just be in the crowd, a part of the crowd who is all trying to do the same thing as you. And the thing is, those places are taken already by someone else. So in the one place that you will stand out is where you become your unique you. You become always your absolute best. And your rightful place to stand out is what I am praying for. As women of expertise. So in the coming week, I would love you to just take one tiny step at a time that is goal orientated, there's no fear, it's bold, and it's innovative. And next week, the following week, and the following week, you do likewise with new goals, new tiny steps until you're led to the top of where you want to be and be ready to go out into an overcrowded world. A couple of action steps before I go. Relinquish, please, that dirty old overcoat. Reveal that beautiful garment that is fashioned just for you, that is tailored just for you. Seek and align with others. Lift your eyes to higher thinking and serve others with joy. And just one more thing, dare to believe that something within you is superior to your outside circumstances or the world that's had so much influence on you. You will become genuinely extraordinary. You who are the hope and future of tomorrow. Thank you for your attention. I don't know what happened, but it went black here. So. Hello. Hello.
Thank you so much, Tommy, for the wonderful speech. I have traveled your talk and I'm understanding the value of myself. That's wonderful thought, provoking talk, Robbie G. So here is a question from our audience. So what is unique in you that is superior inside, that is not outside?
What is inside of us? Yes, that's interesting. The point of the whole matter is that the outside influences can cause us to have in our heads beliefs that are not good. They can turn us into thinking things about ourselves that will put us beneath our potential. We will not have the potential we ought to have. And we're living from the inside out. We are learning and we are becoming true and real and who we really, really are. I do a lot of work with this sort of thing, and so it takes too long to explain. But yes, become the true, authentic you. Yes.
Thank you, Robbie. So here is the next question for you. How to overcome the identity crisis and unhappiness, isolation in this changing world?
Can you say that again? Because I didn't really pick it up very well. Perhaps I'll put up the sound a bit. Yes. Try again.
Sure. how to overcome the identity crisis and unhappiness, isolation in this changing world.
Yes, I'm I'm actually putting it over to these beautiful women that were listening to me. I'm actually saying that they have a role to play. They someone has to. We have to give that over to these women that are going in to the corporate world. There is so much need for a new thinking, really higher thinking, new way. The old, it didn't cut the mustard very well. The old was not. It hasn't been working very well. We need the young people of today. We need the up and coming generation of today to take their place in the world today with new higher thinking. Yes. Mm.
Thank you, Robbie, for all your valuable insights and guiding us in the new way of thinking process. Thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
joining this virtual summit 2023. It's really a good start.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Yes.
Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye. Bye for now.
So let's join the another session. Please join the next speaker, Neha Avdish Kumar.